Today's video is coming to you straight from Dolly's cell phone because she is a responsible adult who lost her GoPro. I didn't really lose it, I left it in a friend's car, but...
Yeah, luckily it's not truly lost. We'll get it back, just not today.
Yes. So the footage we had on there is going to have to wait, and today is going to be an impromptu kind of video.
Yeah, with everyone doing their New Year's Eve resolutions, we actually came up with an idea maybe a month or two ago. Really, we were struggling a lot with our time management, especially when you're not working and you can just lay around and be lazy and not have to do anything.
Yeah.
That can kind of be really mentally challenging too. It was getting to the point when we were staying at my parents' that we were just like, ugh. Yeah.
Going a little stir crazy.
So I had this idea to just come up with a few things that were really important to us and trying to condense them down to a simple, manageable thing. So I came up with an acronym that we called the CLEAR method. C-L-E-A-R.
So this acronym actually came from us watching The Walking Dead. If you've ever seen The Walking Dead, you know there's a character, Morgan. He goes a little crazy. So he comes up with this clear method where he has to clear out all the zombies. We were going a little crazy, so we thought we'd come up with our own clear method.
Okay, so what does clear mean for us, not for Morgan? C means create or connect.
The L is learn or listen.
E is exercise and explore.
A is arrange and accelerate. That might sound a little weird to some people, but we had to fit the A into clear.
Right.
So basically that means plan your day out and then accelerate, fulfill the things that you've written out for the day.
And then R is reflect and excuse me, burp. Reflect and rest.
And yeah, this okay. We have notes because this is a very professional video, you know, so we gotta make notes to remember what we're talking about. So how are we doing with this so far?
Yeah.
We're doing okay.
Yeah.
We have, like we said, we started this like a month ago. And when we first started it, we knew we weren't going to be able to do everything we wanted every day, right? But we set it up on our phones. We set up alarms to remind us what we needed to do at what time. This might sound a little neurotic to some people, but for us, we're very easily led down the path of just scrolling on our phones and doing absolutely nothing. I don't know if you can relate. If you can relate, let us know below. Pretty much everyone, I would say, is like that now. We needed a little bit more structure, so that's what we did for ourselves. It might not work for you.
A lot of reasons why New Year's Eve resolutions fail for people is because they set unachievable goals.
Right.
So a lot of this was about us setting achievable goals. With the New Year's Eve resolutions, a lot of times people set something really big and they try for a week, 2 weeks, a month, and then start falling off because it's just like, oh, it's such a big thing. So for us, it was like, keep it small and simple, and things that we know are important to us and things we actually know we can achieve without big effort, right?
We know we're not going to go to the gym every single day at 7 o'clock in the morning. That's just not us.
Yeah, but we know we can go for a walk. And there is some flexibility to it. If we're going biking to town, you know, that's going to fall into our exercise category. So we don't have to set aside specific time for exercise.
Right. And like Luke said, it is a more lenient thing because we started this, and when we started it, we did our alarms. However, we were still spending time with family, so we knew that not every day everything was going to happen. But at least we had those alarms, those little chimes to remind you, like, hey, around this time you should be doing this. Our goal was to kind of start it when we got into the desert, and we've been here for, I don't know, a week and a half now. So we're really trying to start implementing it now. We've been practicing. Here's the great thing about being lenient with yourself. If you mess up a little bit or you don't get everything right, you don't feel like you completely failed. Oh, well, I'm just going to throw this out the window. You can still keep going. So how has it helped us?
I'd say it gives us a bit more purpose day to day. You know, if we're sitting here bored or we catch ourselves wanting to get on the phone, we can kind of reference this and be like, hey, what can we do on this list that's immediately achievable. A lot of times that's like, all right, we need to go get up and go for a walk. We need to go do something else and just shake it off a little bit. You know?
Right.
I think some of the harder ones for me personally at this point, the create and learn has been a bit of a struggle, mainly because so much of that is a little bit of a harder task. I want to write more, but sometimes it's really hard to start that, you know, but that's something I really want to do. And then same with the learn kind of falls in, I want to read more, you know, and that's another hard habit to really start. But I don't feel like I failed in it, because even if it's just once a week, if I do that once, then at least I'm starting to flex those muscles again.
Exactly.
You know?
Exactly. I think a really hard one for me, honestly, it sounds like it would be easy, but it would be more like the reflect and rest. We get enough sleep, but that's not really what I'm talking about. I'm talking about at the end of the day, after you've wind down, after you've hung out with your friends, and you've basically spent all your mental energy, you take some time and you set it aside for yourself to meditate and just think about the day and think about what you want to do the next day. That's really hard for me, because at the end of the day I'm already kind of spent. So that's something that I want to work on more. One thing we've been doing really well is, I would say, waking up at a better time so that we can have more time for the day. So if there's anything we've gotten out of this, it's more time, which is great, right? So we have an alarm set for, we have a 7 a.m. alarm, but we don't really use that, to be honest. But at 8 o'clock we wake up every day, most days, and we'll take our meds and try to make ourselves eat something. That's another thing we're not good at, is eating in the morning. So we'll have our little shakes. By 9 o'clock we're supposed to go on a walk or do some sort of activity. And at 10 o'clock we're supposed to create and learn. So usually that's when I'll do my YouTube editing. Luke will get on there and do research for his book, writing, stuff like that. 12 o'clock we have lunch. Now we have an alarm that goes off every single time for this, so even if we're not doing it, we know we need to do it soon.
Yeah, and it's about setting up routine. Today I'm gonna go help a guy fix a issue with his car, so I'm not gonna be able to write much until maybe later this evening or something. But that falls into one of the other things, is like connect instead of create. I'm going to help this guy and connect with him and just, you know, be a good neighbor. And so we're still achieving something.
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. And you're creating content right now too for people, so you're connecting with the viewers. I mean, you know, you can bend it however you want, but you know if you're doing what you want to do.
Yeah, because life a lot of times is going to have its own plans for you too. So in a lot of ways, if you feel like you're losing control of your life, you can take a little control back, and it's like, oh, I'm doing this thing I don't want to do. Well, how does this fall into my ethos?
Yeah.
You know, and make it something positive for yourself instead of just dreading it all day. You know?
Definitely. And Luke helps me out a lot with that, because that is something I personally struggle with. I'm a very, believe it or not, I'm a very structured person. So like with my mental health stuff, I like to know what's happening throughout the day. I love surprises, but kind of just like within me and Luke, you know what I mean? But if something goes a little off, I'm like, oh God, and Luke's like, no, it's fine. Look, we have this. Oh yeah, okay. So that helps me a lot.
Again, it's an achievable, not overly complex, even though it might seem it.
We have this little weekly planner. I love making lists. I'm a freak about it. But we have our clear at the bottom here. Don't forget to clear. And then we kind of write down what we want to do each day, or sometimes we write it down after we do it because it makes me feel good. But, you know, we can look back and see what we've done. We can look and see what we want to do for the next day. And it just kind of helps a little bit to have it where you can physically see it.
Yeah, it's a little bit of self-accountability, but also we have our lazy days too.
Oh, definitely.
You know? I mean,
we have those a lot.
Yeah. It's kind of another thing, is don't be so strict and hard on yourself that you make just being alive miserable.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people know that they need to do something better. You already kind of know the answer in your head, what you need to do, but the hardest part is actually making that plan and putting it into motion. So don't make anything that you can't achieve. If you like me, if you want to write more, just set a simple goal and be like, all right, I'm going to sit down and write for 30 minutes.
Yeah.
That's achievable for most people. And maybe that day you don't want to write more than 30 minutes. But more than likely, if it's something you really want to do, next thing you know, it's going to be 3, 4, 5 hours later and you're still writing. You know? So it's just setting that little thing.
Yeah.
You know?
And for me, I personally love the alarm method. I always have. So say you need to clean up your house, but you hate cleaning. Just set a timer, like Luke said, for 30 minutes, an hour, hell, 15 minutes if that's all you can do. Set that and just do it for 15 minutes a day.
Yeah.
Just little things that are achievable. Don't be too hard on yourself.
Just maybe a way of us better managing our time, and maybe it'll help you guys. We don't know. I mean, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Make your own acronym. It can be Dilly Gaff. You know, like, who knows? But, you know, keep it fun for yourself, you know.
Yeah.
Because goals should be fun. Goals should be achievable. Life should be fun.
Yeah.
Know?
If you're not having fun, you're probably not doing it right.
Yeah.
Switch it up a bit.
Yeah.
We really appreciate you guys watching our video, and we will see you in the next one.
Bye.
Bye.
Mm-hmm.